Hi class, so this is Tyler Maley, your statistics instructor for Math 1240 online spring 2018. So this is what I call a syllabus video that I make for my online classes, and this will just give you some pointers for how to be successful in the class and how to get started. So the first thing is I email out this video because some of you may have different familiarity levels with online courses. So to get into an online course, we have to go to our learning management system called Canvas. So if you go to Marion Tech's website, www.mtc.edu, you'll see a link in the top right called Canvas, and this is where you'll get started and where all of our course materials will be. So you'll just sign in with your Marion Tech account. All right, so just logging in here. There it went. All right, so then first of all, after you sign in, you'll be at your dashboard, and here will be some courses that you're taking. They could be current courses or past courses. If you're interested to change this, what you can do is click on courses on the left and then go to all courses. And one thing to point out is all of the courses on your dashboard and also listed here are going to match, right? So to change those, you go click on all courses. And then if you notice beside every course, you're going to have this star. If the star is in yellow, it's going to show up on your dashboard and also on this list. If it's white, it will not, right? So you probably won't have nearly as many as I do, but you can filter this, so you can go to spring 2018 and you can put a star by maybe the classes that you're taking currently in spring 2018, and you could get rid of your other courses so they're not all congested there. That's really a preference. That's up to you what you'd like to do, right? So what you're looking for this term is statistics online spring 18, and it says spring 2018 below also. So inside of this course, I am running two sections simultaneously in this course. So if you're in section 50 or 51, you're going to be in the same Canvas course with me for spring. Right. So as soon as you click on the course, you'll be launched to the home page. So here I just have a welcome, my contact information, and where you need to go to get started. Right. So I put this here again to help guide people if you're unsure of where to go, what to do. So you can click here. This will launch you into the Getting Started module. So inside the Getting Started module, I have the course syllabus listed, the syllabus addendum. Also, you can click on this link, and we'll tell you math tutoring information, right? So this link is the spring 2018 tutoring hours. Then we also have e-tutoring and one-to-one tutoring, right? So you can read over that and check that out. And then I also have some math help websites here, right? So whenever you're in Canvas, anything with the blue lettering like this underlined, these are links, right? Hyperlinks to go maybe open a file or go to a specific page in Canvas, or maybe a web page, right? And on the left, this is where you can navigate Canvas, right? So most of the stuff in the class will be in modules, and you'll also use the My Lab and Mastery button often, right, in this course. But one thing I highly recommend that you do also before you get started is click on Account, and then go to Notifications, and here's where you can change your notification settings, so how often you get notified about certain things in the course. So one thing I highly recommend that you do is go to Announcement and make sure that this is checked to notify me right away, because I will be communicating with you a lot through announcements. And so you need to be checking those regularly, right? So whenever I send an email out to the whole class, I do it through announcements. and I want to make sure that you're getting that by email. And then also a nice thing is when you're in the course, there is a tab here that you won't see yet, but after I post the first announcement, it'll show up here. So underneath home, you'll have announcements, and then there'll just be a big long list of the announcements that I sent out to you. So you'll have a nice collection of all of those. And so I'll send out a lot of announcements, probably 20 to 30 over the semester. So again, please make sure you're checking announcements. That's your responsibility in an online class, is to make sure that you're reading and keeping up with the course, right? And that's going to be a large part. So if we click on modules, again, this is where everything is organized. So I showed you briefly getting started agenda. So I will expect you to read over the material inside of there, and also when you're inside of here, one thing I didn't point out yet is there's links or videos on how to set up your My Stat Lab account in Canvas, and then also how to download R, right? So R is a program that we're going to be using in the statistics course. You'll have 3 assignments using some features in R. So this is a free download, so if you follow the instructions there, you can download that. And then again here, this video will help you set up your My Stat Lab and Canvas account together. And when you're doing that through the video, you're going to need this access code to type that in, right? So also we need Excel, so there's a link here. You can download Microsoft Office 365 for free if you don't already have Office on your computer. Any version of Excel will work that you might have. Let's see what else. So I'll open up like week 1 agenda just to kind of give you a feel for what to expect every week. So I have things organized by table. At the top, I tell you when the assignments are due. So the assignments are going to be due every Tuesday at midnight, right? So you'll have over 1 week to get all the assignments finished. So there shouldn't be a need for you to have any extensions unless there's some extreme circumstances, like you're in the hospital and so forth, right? So there's plenty of time. You know, it's part of your responsibility to plan accordingly to get the assignment submitted. And the reason why I do Tuesday at midnight is so that way, you know, over the weekend, if you have some computer troubles, that gives you 2 whole days to get into the lab and complete the assignments. So don't wait until 10 o'clock on Tuesday night and try to do the assignments and find out you have some technical difficulties or don't know how to do it, and then you email me asking me for extension, right? I expect you to try to get assignments done, and really the Monday and Tuesday is meant as a as some time to maybe to get some tutoring or some technical help to get the assignments completed, right? So how I have it broken out is I tell you what you should read in the textbook, give you any notes and resources, and then I have lecture videos that go along with each section. And then here, these are the assignments that you can complete after finishing that specific chapter or section, right? So here I have chapter 0, which is just helping you get started in the course, go over the syllabus and whatnot. And then you're doing a couple of sections here this week. So 3 sections, section 1, 1, 2, and 1, 3. However, I did note that chapter 1 really is just a lot of vocab and setting a foundation for statistics. So there's not a lot of difficult material in that chapter. So I only made 1 video that goes over the whole chapter. So you're only required to do these 3 homework assignments for chapter 1. But I gave you the other assignments here that you can knock out this week if you'd like. So kind of the general guideline for the course, maybe up until about the first 4 chapters or so, the material is really not so difficult, but then it starts to take a spin and gets a lot harder. So it's going to be real important to start out studying and understand this basic material in the first couple of chapters, because it's going to keep building on itself, right? So don't get a false impression of the difficulty, because it picks up, and all the statistics courses start out that way, because we need to set that foundation and make sure you understand those basic elementary statistics skills, like what's a sample, what's a population, what's standard deviation, and so forth. So that way we can work into what's called inferential statistics, like hypothesis testing and whatnot. Right. Again, so if you go into modules, you can see all of these. So like if you click on week 2, you can see you're doing section 1.4 and then 2.1 and 2.2, right? So like for 2.1 and 2.2, I have a PowerPoint, I have a distributions document, a histogram and stem plot example document, and then I have a lecture video that walks you through, and then there's one homework assignment for both sections, right? So this homework section in my stat lab covers 2.1 and 2.2. So I am integrating this specific section course a little differently in hopes that we can use this type of Canvas and my stat lab integration in the future. So one nice thing about this is there's what's called deep linking. So if you click on this section 2.1, 2.2 homework, it'll actually launch you into the My Stat Lab assignment, right? So that's a pretty neat feature. So of course this happens after you follow the video and the Getting Started agenda to connect your Canvas and My Stat Lab accounts, right? So like I can click on question 1, and question 1 will pop up here, right? So there's different parts here, right? So if you're not familiar with how to enter answers in My Stat Lab, that's okay. There's actually a homework assignment to help you walk through the different features in there, right? So if you go into the week 1 agenda, this chapter 0 homework, right, has questions that help you get accustomed to My Stat Lab, right? So you can walk through these questions. Right. Let's see. So maybe anything else I wanted to point out. So you can keep working on the homework problems until you get 100%, as long as it's before the due date, right? So theoretically, everyone should get 100% on the homework, right? You can keep doing homework problems until you get it right. So for example, I'm just going to answer this problem wrong. So I got it wrong, and then I need to answer another time, and it said final check. So now it says, oh, here's the correct answer, and here's my answer. So what I can do is I can click try again, and then so I can get this problem right? So if I click this, check answer, it says, oh, it's wrong, right? So what are the two, what the slave statistics found, what two major concepts? So we can check that variation in data, which is correct, right? So with this particular homework question, it was multiple choice, and it gave us two times to try to get it right before it reset itself, right? So I got it right, and then I can click next question, and we can go on, right? So we can keep going through the homework problems until you get it correct. So I can go back and forth between homework questions with these arrows, or I can click this down arrow, which pops down a menu where I can click on a specific question, right, and see my progress, right? So notice I have unlimited attempts per question, right? So that's what I have set up for this particular homework assignment. If you're having trouble with the homework assignment, you click on question help, and there are some different features here. So with this particular question, there isn't like a help me solve this or view an example, which is maybe what you're used to. Let me see if the next homework assignment has it. No. So these first three are really more like vocab type of questions. So let me jump ahead so I can show you what I'm talking about. So let me go into week 2 and jump ahead to maybe 2.1.2.2 homework. I'll just open up a question. So here's now where you're saying, help me solve this and view an example. So these are some common buttons that students might use to help you get the problem right. But remember, you want to use these for learning, not just to get the problem correct, but to help you with your understanding and your learning through the process. So these are great features to use, but if you do it and then just get the homework problem right and then move on, you're gonna miss out on that learning possibility, right? There's also an Ask My Instructor link here, which will send me an email with a link to this exact question, so I can know what you're talking about. So you don't have to tell me what the question's about, but you do need to tell me, what do you not understand? What's your question, right? Don't just say I'm totally lost. Like, got to kind of expand, like what part don't you understand? Why don't you understand it, and so forth. Right, so that way I can help you with your understanding. So there's some popular features in my stat lab. So another thing I want to show you is how to access your ebook. So with how this is working this semester is there's a course fee built in the class that pays for your my stat lab or my math lab code, right? So that's what in the Getting Started agenda, that's what this code is, right? This is what you paid for with your student fee. So after you use this code, you'll be able to get into the My Math Lab part, right? The My Stat Lab. So if I click on My Lab and Mastering, so yours is going to look a little different than mine. You won't see the instructor tools here, but you should see some student links buttons here. So if I click on My Stat Lab Course Home, which is what I recommend that you click on. So if I click on My Stat Lab Course Home, it will launch you into the course in My Stat Lab, right? So the benefit to this is where you can see all of your My Stat Lab assignments and all of the book resources, right? So like here you can see there's a button here for the e-text. So if I click on the e-text, I can click view the e-text for your course, and here's the textbook, right? Let's see. So I got an error message. So you shouldn't get an error message. If you do, let me know. I do have a workaround. Let's see. All right. All right, so I don't know why I'm not able to get in the ebook right now. Another way you can get to it is go to the multimedia library, and you can go like pick a chapter, and I just do select all, and then here are links for the multimedia textbook. Let me see if that works. No, so it's still saying I have an error, right? So I'm not sure why that's happening. Hopefully you don't have an error. If you do, let me know. I can get my Pearson rep to help me troubleshoot the problem. But it should work fine to get your ebook that way. So then you can also click like on assignments, and you can access your assignments this way also, right? So you can see like chapter 0 homework, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and then there's a chapter quiz, right? So there will be a chapter quiz on every after every chapter, and the chapter quiz, I give you 2 attempts to do it, and then I take the best score out of the 2 attempts, right? And they're all timed 60 minutes. So you can see here there's the time limit, and here's the number of attempts that you have tried. So there's 0 out of 2. Right, and also with the quizzes, there is no view an example, help me solve this feature. That goes away for the quizzes, just so you can plan accordingly. But I'm going to start a quiz, and then I'm just going to submit the quiz without answering any questions. Because one nice feature that students like also is if I go into Gradebook here from my stat lab, then there's these review buttons beside the homework and the quiz attempts. So after I take the Chapter 1 quiz, I can click Review, and I can see exactly what the questions were, what the correct answer was, what I missed. So then I can use that information to help me do better on the second attempt then. Right, so I highly recommend utilizing that. So then after you've done assignments in my math lab, within about 15 minutes or so, the scores that you've done in those assignments those grades will pull over to Canvas, right? So I don't want to click on grades because that shows the instructor gradebook. But if you click on grades, that'll show just your version with your student account, and you'll be able to see all the assignments and what your scores were, right? All right, so I think that's all I want to do in this video. So I just want to just be a short video to help get you started in the course. So please don't forget to do the getting started agenda, right? Read over the course syllabus, the syllabus addendum, and so forth. Get a feel for the class. So let me download the syllabus real quick. All right. So just a few things I thought to point out. Obviously, my contact information is important, so you'll need to have that. And here are my office hours. So I am teaching a lot online this term. So, if you're available during one of these hours, but maybe you can't get to campus, we might be able to schedule some online office hours for you. So you just have to email me and let me know. There's also e-tutoring and the math lab that you can get some help with. Some of you asked me about maybe trying to get a copy of the text. So this is the textbook information if you want to buy a hardback version still. Then you can read over the learning objectives. And then the calendar is going to be really useful. So as I said, I have everything broken out by week. So like here for week 1, these are the lecture topics that we'll cover. And then over here on the right, you can see the assignments that are due, right? So notice that week 1 ends on the 14th, which is a Sunday, but I give you 2 extra days, the 15th and the 16th, to get the homework assignments done from that week, right? So again, there should be plenty of time to get your homework done. You really need to stick with these established deadlines, right? And then I also put here some important information, like during week 2 on that Monday, the campus is closed for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, right? So you'll notice my weeks run from Monday to Sunday, right? So Monday to Sunday is the week for my online class, and then your assignments are due on the following Tuesday. Also, how I take attendance in online classes is I look to see if you've done any homework assignments during that week, right? So if you haven't done any type of homework assignment during that week, then you're absent. So to be present, you have to be completing the assignments during each week, right? So like here for week 1, 1/8 to 1/14, right? So during that time span between 1/8 and 1/14, you should be completing at least one of these homework assignments, right, to be present for that week. Right. So during week 9, we'll have the midterm exam, and there'll be more information about that in the coming time. But you will have these dates to complete the exam. So you'll have that Monday to Friday, and you'll complete those on campus in the Student Resource Center. So last semester, I didn't have any students that lived out of state or too far to not take their midterm exam on campus. But if you do, if you maybe live out of state or live an hour or so from campus, and getting to campus is maybe difficult, we can set up an alternate proctoring site. So you might be able to take the exam at a local community college that's closer to you. Then that's fine, and I'll have some more information about that again in the coming semester. But I just want to give you a heads up that the midterm and final exams are proctored, meaning that you can't take them at home, without a proctor. So proctored exams, meaning you take it with some type of testing administrator. Right, and then if you keep going down, I have information about the different types of assignments. So we have homework, concept checks, Excel R assignments, quizzes, exams, and so forth. And then how much of the grade they compose of, and how the grading scale is distributed for the class. Right. Another big thing I want to point out is the credit hour definition. So for an online class, you should expect to spend 9 hours per week on the class, right? So that's reading the textbook, doing the assignments, watching my lecture videos, studying, and so forth. You should be spending about 9 hours per week to be successful, right? And then I'll trust for you to read the rest of the syllabus, right? I don't want to read the syllabus to you, but just wanted to go over some big things in here, right? All right, so that's all I have. If you have questions, feel free to post. You can post in the discussion board. So I have a discussion board made called Questions About Anything. You can feel free to post questions in here. Or if something is personal, please don't post it here, because it's all the students will see that. So you can send me an email, right? And if you're a student and you see another student's question in here, you can feel free to respond if you feel confident you know the answer. And if it's an incorrect answer, I'll definitely chime in and correct that. But this is a good spot for you to interact with other students also in the class, right? So it can be a question about a particular homework question, or it could really be about anything you'd like to ask about the course. So it's a good spot for you to collaborate and work together in here. I do have another discussion posted called Course Introductions. So this is something you'll do in your first week, and this is just meant for you to, for me to get to know you to get to know me, and get to know the other students in the class, so we can all feel comfortable with each other and help each other out, right? Because I do want everyone to be successful. All right. So I'll talk to you later.